Age of Chaucer 1340. Geoffrey Chaucer, father of English poetry 1343 to 1400. Chaucer was born about 1343 in the Vinery, the Vintners Street in London walled city. His father was a prosperous wine merchant, who might have supplied the cellars of the king, Edward III, and therefore was able to bring his son to royal notice. At the age of Chaucer served as a page to Elizabeth, Countess of Ulster and wife of Lionel, Edward III's son. Chaucer primarily obtained his education at the court and learned French and Latin there. In 1953, at the age of 19, he accompanied Lionel, the Duke of Clarence, on a military campaign to France, where he was taken prisoner. Chaucer's value in the royal family can be ascertained from the fact that the English King Edward III paid a ransom. Give money to someone for release. After his release, Chaucer was transferred to the king's service and promoted to the rank of esquire. Edward III later sent him on a diplomatic mission to France, Genoa, and Florence, exposing him to the work of authors such as Dante, Boccaccio, and Crescent. Around 1366, Chaucer married Philippa de Roe, daughter of the Flemish Sir Gilles de Roe. Her sister, Catherine, was for many years the mistress and later the third wife of John of the Gaunt, another of the sons of Edward III, and a powerful patron, a person who gives financial or other support to a person. In 1369, Chaucer was asked by John of Gaunt to compose a memorial poem, written in English, to be recited at Mass for his deceased wife Blanche, Duchess of Lancaster. The result was Chaucer's first work, the Book of the Duchess. Chaucer held several royal posts during his lifetime. Around 1385, Chaucer lost all his offices at the overthrow of the faction of his patron John of Gaunt. After losing an office, he moved to a residence in Kent, England. Chaucer was soon restored to power, and in 1386, he was 1386 elected Member of Parliament for Kent. A year later, after 1 year, Chaucer's wife, Philippa, died. In 1389, Chaucer was made clerk of the king's works, overseeing royal building projects. It was during the fag end of his life that Chaucer composed the Canterbury Tales, a collection of 24 tales narrated by 29 pilgrims. Chaucer retired to a house in the gardens of St. Mary's in Westminster in December 1398. It was here that he died 2 years later at the age of 60. He was buried in Westminster Abbey, the first of the men of letter to be laid in the Nook, corner, which has since become the Poets' Corner. 3 periods of Chaucer life. First period, French period. It includes his early works, which are based largely on French models, especially the Roman, de la Rose, and the poems of Guillaume de Machaut. Chaucer's chief workers during this time were the Book of the Duchess, an allegorical elegy written in 1369, on the death of Blanche, wife of John of Gaunt, and a partial translation of the Roman de la Rose. Second period, Italian period. During this time his works were modeled on Dante and Boccaccio's. Major works of this period include: The House of Fame is a prose translation of Boethius de Consolation Philosophies. Third period, English period. During this period, he wrote The Legend of God Women. Chaucer masterpiece, the 17,000 lines Canterbury Tales, written mostly after 1387, also belongs to this period. Linguistic importance of Chaucer. In Chaucer's age, English was not the language of high culture. Even though ordinary people/general people spoke English, French was the language of power, spoken by royalty, aristocrats, and high-powered officials. Most literature in England was also not written in English. Chaucer, however, gave impetus to the development of English as a literary language by deciding to write in English. He adds new words from Romance languages Latin, French, Italian, and Spanish, and enriched the language of English. English literature before Chaucer had not used much rhyme. Chaucer took the idea of rhyme from French literature and introduced it into English. Literary importance of Chaucer. Matthew Arnold called Chaucer the father of our splendid glorious English poetry. The Canterbury Tales contains so many miniature novels in itself.
This channel helps you always to making a notes. Like and subscribe this channel for your future purpose. Thanks for watching.